This video presents select operating and safety procedures for Vermeer pedestrian trenchers. All Vermeer model pedestrian trenchers are similar, but may have different style controls. The components on your machine may look different from those in this video. However, most operating functions are the same. Your Vermeer pedestrian trencher is equipped with safety features. However, safe work practices are also necessary for accident prevention. Improper use of the machine could result in death or serious injury. For your safety and the safety of others, always use caution and good judgment. This video is a supplement to the machine's manuals and does not contain all the instructions needed to properly operate your machine. Vermeer supplies every machine with 2 operators' manuals. One is in the resource library shipped with your machine. The other is in the black storage box on the machine, so it is always close. Before operating, all operators must thoroughly read and understand the operators and maintenance manuals, safety instructions, and safety signs on the machine. While watching this video, stop and review the information at any time and consult your operator's manual to reinforce what you have learned. Allow only responsible, properly trained people to operate a pedestrian trencher. Become familiar with the controls, operation, and use of the machine under the supervision of a trained and experienced operator. All operators must be familiar with job site safety rules and regulations, and must be mentally and physically capable of safely operating the machine. Consult your operator's manual for required personal protective equipment. Wear close-fitting clothes and confine long hair. Remove jewelry such as rings, watches, necklaces, or bracelets. Required personal protective equipment includes safety shoes, wrap-around safety glasses or goggles, a hard hat, and hearing protection. Contact your local environmental specialist to determine the required level of hearing protection for your job site. Always do a visual inspection of the machine before you operate. The machine must be in good operating condition with all safety equipment installed. See your operators, maintenance, and parts manuals for machine inspections, recommended intervals, and procedures. When starting the machine, always follow the complete starting procedure as instructed in your operator's manual. Make sure all personnel are away from the machine and job site. To start the machine, verify the ground drive and attachment drive controls are in neutral. Engage the park brake. If applicable, place the throttle lever to approximately 1/4 speed. Turn the key switch to the start position to start the machine. Always follow the shutdown procedure as instructed in your operator's manual to properly shut down the machine. To shut down the machine, verify the ground drive controls are in neutral. Verify the attachment drive controls are in neutral. Engage the park brake. Lower attachments to the ground. Reduce engine speed to idle. Turn the key switch to the off position and remove the key. If equipped, shut off the fuel valve. Failure to follow the shutdown procedure before you work on the machine can result in unexpected hazards. Follow the shutdown procedure after operating, before performing any service or maintenance, and before transporting. Vermeer pedestrian trenchers are available with a variety of attachments, such as a vibratory plow, backhoe, backfill blade, and reel carrier. Contact your local Vermeer dealer for a list of authorized Vermeer attachments. Never use an attachment that Vermeer Corporation has not authorized. Before discussing machine operations, we will review the following controls: throttle, ground drive, attachment drive, and attachment raise and lower. The throttle lever controls the engine speed. To increase the engine speed, push the throttle forward. To decrease the engine speed, pull the throttle back. Vermeer pedestrian trenchers are hydrostatic and use a single ground drive control to provide variable ground drive power in forward and reverse. On some machines, the throttle is used to vary operating speed to respond to changing ground conditions. On other machines, the attachment drive control is used to provide variable operating speed. The attachment raise and lower control uses the machine's hydraulic system to provide power to raise and lower the boom. Some Vermeer pedestrian trenchers use a remote control for machine operation. The functions described in this section may vary depending on the machine model. Check your operator's manual for details and instructions for the remote storage location, access code, controls operation, charging, and other remote functions. You must enable the remote before you operate the machine. Turn the key switch on the machine to the run position. To enable, press the power key and enter the code when prompted. At this point, the beacon should be flashing. Normal remote control operating range is within 30 feet of the machine. Check the range before you operate. If you exceed the operating range, the remote will not function. The remote signal may be affected by obstructions such as buildings, trees, boulders, or other radio signals. Maintain a line of sight between the remote and the machine to minimize signal loss. If the machine loses remote signal, the attachment and ground drive will stop, and the engine speed will return to low. The operator must activate the operator presence system for the creep or attachment drive to engage, and press the remote's operator presence control within a set time, or the machine will stop. For some machines, you must tether the remote to the machine to operate a trencher. If the remote control is damaged or lost, the machine is equipped with limp mode controls. Remember to always shut off the remote and place it in the storage compartment when finished. Vermeer pedestrian trenchers are equipped with an operator presence system. Conduct the following evaluations to determine that the operator presence and remote tether systems are operating as designed. For some pedestrian machines without a remote, if the ground drive or attachment drive are engaged and the operator presence lever is released, the engine should stop. Also, if the operator presence lever is not engaged and the ground drive, attachment drive, or handlebars are moved out of neutral, the engine should stop. For other Vermeer machines without a remote, if the operator presence system does not sense an operator while the ground drive or attachment drive is operating, machine functions will stop, but the engine will continue running. For pedestrian trenchers with a remote, the creep drive and attachment drive should stop shortly after the controls are released. You must first activate the operator presence control, or the creep drive and attachment drive will not start. For pedestrian trenchers with a remote and trencher, the trencher drive must not start unless the remote is tethered to the machine. See your operator's manual for additional information. Disengage the park brake before operating the machine. Always drive Vermeer machines at a speed appropriate for the terrain. Keep others away from the machine and driving path. Do not stop, start, or turn suddenly. Keep weight balanced over the tracks when driving over uneven ground. Keep feet away from the tracks, and keep clear of the machine if you are driving with a remote. When transporting the machine on a trailer, do not load or unload the machine unless properly trained in machine operation. Read and follow the transport instructions in your operator's manual, along with the towing vehicle and trailer manuals for safety precautions and information. Check your operator's manual for machine weight before you transport. Verify the trailer weight limit to make sure the gross weight of the machine with attachments is within the trailer and towing vehicle's limits. When loading or unloading, verify the trailer is properly attached to the towing vehicle and the tires are correctly inflated. If applicable, check the tongue connection, towing chains, electrical connection, and breakaway switch cable. Chock wheels or set the towing vehicle park brake. Rollover can crush. Stay uphill. no riding. Unintended machine movement may occur when you load or unload on slippery, dirty, or uneven trailer surfaces. Death or serious injury can result if struck or crushed by the machine. Verify the trailer is level and all loading surfaces are clean and free of debris. Use smooth and controlled steering. Drive slowly and squarely on and off the trailer to minimize steering. Do not attempt to steer the machine when balanced at the trailer ramp transition. Stop the machine at the tie-down position. If equipped, engage the machine park brake lever. Lower attachments to the trailer bed. If equipped, move the articulation lock to the locked position and secure. Follow the shutdown procedure in your operator's manual. If applicable, shut off the remote and place it in the storage location. The machine must be secured to the trailer for transport. Follow the instructions in your operator's manual to properly tie down the machine. When you unload the machine from the trailer, drive slowly and squarely to minimize steering. Do not attempt to steer the machine when balanced at the trailer ramp transition. When you arrive at the job site, inspect the surrounding area. Look for flagged areas, drop boxes, recent trenching activity, and other obstructions, conditions, or situations that may impair machine operation or create safety hazards. Check for steep slopes, banks, overhangs, drop-offs, trenches, and areas that can cave in. Remove foreign objects from the work area. Keep the machine away from overhead power lines and other overhead obstacles and hazards. Keep all spectators and other personnel away from the machine and work area while operating. Trench walls can unexpectedly cave in. Anyone standing too close to the trench may fall onto the digging chain. Before you begin operation, remember that underground utilities may be present. Striking an electrical line may cause electrocution. Striking a gas line may cause an explosion. Cutting fiber optic cable may cause eye damage by laser light. Call the local one-call system in your area and any utility company that does not subscribe to the one-call system. For areas not represented by One Call Systems International, contact the appropriate utility companies or national regulating authority to locate and mark underground installations. Contact the local site manager if private utilities may be present. You must know the exact location of utilities before digging. Do not work in any trench that is not suitably shored, sloped, or benched. Death or serious injury can result from a trench wall cave-in. Specific requirements for shoring or sloping trench walls are available from several sources, including state and federal OSHA offices. Read and follow the starting procedure in your operator's manual. If using a remote control, hold the control comfortably and do not use thick or loose gloves. Before operating, become familiar with control locations and functions. Survey the area around the machine for persons or obstacles. Always drive the machine at a speed appropriate for the terrain. Rollover is possible and can cause death or serious injury. Avoid operating next to slopes, large holes, ditches, steep banks, or other terrain that may cause the machine to suddenly tip sideways. Before you begin excavation, make sure all personnel are away from the machine. Run over can crush. Keep feet away from the wheels or tracks. To begin excavation, move the trench cleaner to the raised position if equipped. Activate the operator presence control. Engage the attachment drive control and increase throttle to full RPM. Slowly lower the boom to the ground to the desired digging depth while slightly moving the machine in the direction of the desired trench. Do not force the boom down faster than the digging chain can remove material. If engine RPM drops or the digging chain slows down, raise the boom until speed increases. Then continue to lower the boom. If the trencher is forced too quickly into the ground or catches on an object, the digging chain can suddenly pull the machine toward the trench. Stay away from houses, fences, trees, and other objects. Death or serious injury can result if struck by the machine. After completing the plunge cut, raise the trencher until the boom is level with the ground. Stop the digging chain and shut down the machine. Follow the instructions in your operator's manual to adjust the trench cleaner. Remember, contact with the digging chain can result in death or serious injury. Never adjust the trench cleaner with the engine running or any attachments moving. Once you reach the required trench depth, adjust the trencher and ground speed for best productivity. When the trench is complete, place the ground drive in neutral and slowly raise the boom. When the chain is out of the ground, move the attachment drive control to neutral, lower engine speed to idle, and raise the trencher to the transport position. You may use an optional backfill blade to fill the trench and help clean and restore the job site. See your operator's manual for proper backfill blade installation. Backfill in the opposite direction you trenched to help completely refill the trench spoil. On the first pass, roll the spoil from the outside to the inside of the pile. On additional passes, place the spoil into the trench. Once the trench is filled, drive over it with the wheels or tracks to compact the soil. This video shows one method of installing product with a plow. See your operator's manual for further information. If equipped, release the plow lock. Then lower the plow to the ground. Shut down the machine. Then, remove the feed chute gate. Install the product into the feed chute. Reinstall the feed chute gate and secure with the gate pin. Anchor the free end of the product to stop it from being pulled into the plow cut. Start the engine and verify the attachment selector key is set to plow. Lower the plow blade until the blade is approximately halfway into the ground. Engage the shaker at a slow speed and continue forward travel until the blade reaches the proper depth. Set the engine to full throttle. Adjust the ground speed and shaker speed for optimal plowing. On some machines, the throttle controls all shaker speed adjustment and will adjust the plow speed. On others, a combination of the throttle and the attachment speed control will adjust the shaker speed. Do not overload the engine. Plowing speed depends on ground conditions, plow blade size, and style. Setting the ground speed too high may cause the plow to lift out of the ground and/or the tires or tracks to spin. See your operator's manual for more details. Optimal ground and shaker speeds depend on soil conditions. During plow operation, to determine the best shaker speed for your ground conditions, set the shaker at full speed. Set the ground speed. Adjust the shaker speed up or down until the engine speed increases, then increase ground speed. Repeat until you reach optimal ground and shaker speeds. To shut down a plow, complete the following steps. Reduce the shaker speed while raising the plow blade and creeping forward. Disengage the shaker as the plow blade exits the ground. Disengage the ground drive controls to stop machine travel. Lower engine RPM to idle, and shut down the machine. Remove the feed chute gate and product from the feed chute. Some machines offer two types of reel carriers, a hydraulic lift option and a fixed mount option. See your operator's manual for instructions on loading the reel carrier for your chosen option. Verify the reel is secure on the reel carrier and the reel carrier is secure on the machine. If equipped with a hydraulic reel carrier, lower it as close as possible to the ground to improve stability and reduce the risk of rollover. A raised load can shift or fall. Death or serious injury is possible if struck or crushed by a falling load. Never allow anyone under a raised load unless the load is securely supported to prevent it from shifting or falling. Do not use a reel carrier to lift or transport anything other than reels. Do not attempt to lift or transport reels heavier than the rated capacity of the reel carrier. See your operator's manual for the reel carrier capacity. For best results when backhoeing, position the backhoe so it is digging near the center of the swing. Once positioned, set throttle to low idle. Making 3 points of contact, use the steps and handles to access the backhoe operator seat. Lower the stabilizers to the ground to steady and level the machine. Release the boom lift and swing lock. Keep all personnel away from the backhoe swing area during operation. Boom swing can crush or cause death. Falling boom or load can crush. Use only for excavation, not as an object handler or lifter. Do not swing backhoe over people. The load or backhoe could fall unexpectedly. Never work under an attachment unless it is adequately supported to prevent it from falling unexpectedly. Adjust the engine speed depending on the digging condition. Operate the controls slowly until you are familiar with the swing speed when moving the boom. Smooth, light handling of the controls will result in more efficient backhoe operation. The engine shutoff switch at the backhoe control station can be used to stop the engine. When you finish backhoe excavation, do the following for backhoe shutdown. Place the dipper stick and bucket in a tucked position to stow the backhoe in the transport position. Engage the boom lift lock and swing lock to secure the backhoe boom. Raise the stabilizers. Reduce the engine speed. Follow the shutdown procedure in your operator's manual. When preparing to use a porta-bore attachment, a trench or pit may be needed at each end of the bore. Depending on the grade of the bore, the entrance trench should be as deep as the proposed bore and 6 to 10 times as long as it is deep. End the trench as close to the obstruction, such as a walking path, as possible. The exit trench should be deeper and wider than the desired drilling depth on the opposite side of the obstruction. The longer the bore, the longer and deeper this trench should be to intercept a bore that may deviate off course. Before beginning a porta-bore operation, clear the job site of all objects that might interfere with proper boring operation. Verify the boring attachment is properly and securely attached in the operating position according to your operator's manual. A rotating rod can snag clothes. The whipping action of the flexible rod is extremely powerful and can injure anyone within reach. Never have more than 2 drill rods exposed. Slowly move the machine forward at a slow engine RPM. Stay away from the side of the drill string during operation. Rod rotation must stop when the porta-bore control is released. Position the machine in front of the entrance trench. Follow shutdown procedure. Install 1 or 2 drill rods and the desired cutter. To begin a bore, start the machine. If applicable, set the ground drive into low range. Set the engine speed to low. Select the porta-bore attachment. Set the porta-bore rotation direction to forward. Have a helper use the Vermeer supplied rod guide tool behind the cutting head. The helper must be outside of the entrance trench and to the opposite side of the drill rod rotation direction. Start forward rotation of the porta-bore and slowly drive forward. Once the cutting head enters the ground, shut down the machine and remove the rod guide tool. Check the grade of rod with a level and make any necessary adjustments. Restart the machine and continue boring. If the drill string begins to bend, reduce forward machine travel. Before adding another rod, with the last 12 to 18 inches of the drill string still exposed, Follow your operator's manual shutdown procedure. Uncouple the drill rod from the machine. Restart the machine, back up from the trench, and follow the shutdown procedure. Install the additional drill rod and continue boring. When the cutting tool exits the bore and is visible in the exit trench, follow the shutdown procedure. Remove the cutting tool and install the back reaming tool or pullback tool. To begin back reaming, start the machine. Set the engine speed to low. Position the machine so the reaming tool is at the exit trench hole opening. Start forward porta bore rotation. Slowly drive the machine backward until a rod coupling emerges from the bore entrance. To remove the rod, follow the shutdown procedure. Uncouple and remove the rod connected to the porta bore attachment. Start the machine and drive forward until it is close enough to recouple the drill string. Follow the shutdown procedure and recouple the drill string to the porta bore attachment. Clear all personnel from the trench area and drill rod. Start the machine, start drill forward rotation, and drive the machine backward until the next rod coupling emerges from the bore. Continue this procedure until the back reamer is withdrawn from the bore. Vermeer supplies every new pedestrian trencher with a maintenance manual that provides important performance and safety information. If you suspect something is wrong with the machine, stop use and contact your independent authorized Vermeer dealer. Do not take chances with your safety by continuing to use a machine that needs maintenance or repair. Safe work practices are an important part of accident prevention. Do your part in following these procedures for your safety and the safety of others.